Police remain on the scene of a mass shooting at a homeless encampment in Minneapolis.
In Los Angeles, the mayor warning about a possible serial killer on the loose, preying on homeless victims.
Our capital city has been overtaken by violent gangs and bloodthirsty criminals, roving mobs of wild youth, drugged-out maniacs and homeless people.
Well, they arrived randomly and they have no manners when talking to people. If someone tells me, "Sir, get up, you can't be here," I get up and leave, but no. I'm almost 80 years old.
The homeless people will get shot sleeping or set on fire.
We have lots of folks who die out here every single day. They aren't a threat to us.
I'm just checking to make sure you're okay.
I'm okay, hon.
How come you're out here? It's really cold.
I know. I have nowhere else to go.
You have nowhere else to go? What about the shelters?
They're all filled up right now.
Is it keeping you warm?
Yeah. Somewhat.
A dangerous winter storm is sweeping across the United States. Will those homeless be able to survive?
My fear is not having a place to stay that's warm, you know, also a nice meal to eat. It's hard to get out if it's like frozen solid outside.
Estimates by the federal government shows on a nightly basis more than 770,000 Americans are homeless. That's nearly the population of Seattle. Homelessness can have many causes, ranging from a lack of affordable housing for low-income earners, job loss, or an unexpected expense, such as a medical crisis. Social media users define this situation as living near the U.S. kill line. The term kill line originates from a concept in video games, a damage threshold that instantly defeats a weakened opponent. Now it refers to a self-reinforcing cycle, where one misstep can trigger an unescapable downward financial spiral. The U.S. Interagency Council on Homelessness estimates more than 190 million Americans live near the kill line. Imagine, over half of the country's population live a life just one bill away from no home, probably far from how most people perceive life in the United States.
The way it's often described is that the system is broken, it needs to be fixed. But I think the truth is far more troubling and frightening. American prosperity, from the very founding of the country, is based on applying the kill line to other people. So I think this really is just the latest iteration applied to American working class of something that really is a feature of the American system.
And our medical system, our mental health system has so many issues. Our criminal justice system, it churns people through with no real option. So the street is where folks end up.
And I think that jobs and the cost of living are changing. And so a lot of people are experiencing that they just can't make it.
A major factor in this crisis is the housing shortage, which has a deficit of millions of units for low-income renters.
In Chicago, as in most American cities, there really is a rental crisis.
So right now in Chicago, we have one of the highest rent growth compared year to year in the country. And so now is a pivotal time to allow more housing.
However, parts of Chicago are exclusively zoned for single-family homes. The development of higher density options like multi-unit buildings is prohibited.
Households are declining in size, and that means we need more homes. And I thought it was strange that we would artificially restrict how many homes could get built in Chicago.
Affordable housing to me is a really important issue. And to me, the biggest denominator in affordable housing is the lack of supply. The best route to affordable housing is to have an influx of housing. And all these restrictions merely serve to increase the price of each unit, as well as stop units from being built.
The Trump administration has directed the federal government to buy up to $200 billion in mortgage bonds to help reduce mortgage rates. However, it also plans to have funding for a key permanent supportive housing program in 2026. a cut that could put 170,000 people at risk of homelessness. NBC News reports that home prices have completely decoupled from middle-class wages. Despite attempts to cool the market, mortgage rates remain stuck above 6%. Tight supply has created a lock-in effect, with 30% of homes sold above listing price. The government's pledge to boost housing supply is also undercut by its own trade policies. Tariffs on steel, aluminum, and lumber act as a hidden tax on construction. Added costs ultimately passed on to buyers. It's estimated that the tariffs could lead to 450,000 fewer new homes by 2030. That means nearly 500,000 families could lose out on home ownership. The U.S. government has also adopted a controversial approach to tackling homelessness.
Police remain on the scene of a mass shooting at a homeless encampment in Minneapolis.
In Los Angeles, the mayor warning about a possible serial killer on the loose, preying on homeless victims.
Our capital city has been overtaken by violent gangs and bloodthirsty criminals, roving mobs of wild youth, drugged out maniacs and homeless people. And we're not going to let it happen anymore. We're not going to take it. We will have full, seamless, integrated cooperation at all levels of law enforcement, and we'll deploy officers across the district with an overwhelming presence. You'll have more police.
In August 2025, President Donald Trump wrote on social media that the homeless have to move out immediately from Washington, D.C. to restore a safe and beautiful capital.
Well, they arrived randomly and they have no manners when talking to people. If someone tells me, "Sir, get up, you can't be here," I get up and leave, but no. I'm almost 80 years old and I felt almost sick during the intervention. They should have more tact. This shouldn't be happening here.
The homeless people will get shot sleeping or set on fire.
People who are homeless are much more likely to be the victims of crime. They're rarely the perpetrators of crime, especially violent crime. And so the folks out here are extremely high risk for being assaulted, for being harmed, for severe medical issues on the street. We have lots of folks who die out here every single day because we are not providing adequate care as a society for them. They aren't a threat to us.
Human rights attorney Eric Tars believes U.S. homelessness policies are designed not to help people, but to keep them unhoused. With less support and more arrests, the U.S. government's policies are obscuring systemic failures, misattributing causes, and pushing the country's most vulnerable below the kill line.
We're gonna put a couple more blankets over you, okay? Come on, let's go hop in the truck. I'm serious.